In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the energy methods as well as the technical aspects, the things that I did to go from being with no time, totally stressed with the businesses that I was running at the time to today where I'm running 5 different businesses and they're all going great, they're all growing, and they're all making really cool positive impacts in people's lives in different industries. And at the same time, they're running sufficiently well so that I have the freedom of time to focus even more on my passion, which is sharing with you and making a positive impact in the world. So whether or not that's your same passion, and I hope it is, the idea and the theme here is that you can have the freedom of time to be able to choose what you do instead of basically having everything on top of you, feeling like you're not even Atlas. Atlas was holding it up. I didn't feel like I was holding up the world. I felt like I was being crushed by it. So maybe you can relate. Incidentally, I go into step by step of what I've done from having my life totally out of balance. This area included time. And I'm going to share on this right here, I'm going to share the steps that I did succinctly to free up my time, which is really, really important. If you're interested in learning more about what I did in all areas of my life on Power Life class, I go step by step into details, about 30 minutes long. And I do the best I can to share everything that I did so that you can start benefiting. There's no opt-in or anything, it's just a video up on a page you can watch. So to start out with, my situation was that I'm at different points having a different number of businesses. And I thought that by having more businesses, making more money, having more streams of income, that would create the lifestyle that I wanted. And one aspect of a lifestyle, there's actually various ones, but one aspect of a lifestyle that I started my first business with the dream of was having freedom of time, being able to travel to different places, stay as long as I want, and I was focusing on those things. However, what I found was that the people, there would be different types of issues that would come up, that the level of performance that I needed, it wasn't good enough. And no matter how much I was on top of people, how much I created like systems of exactly what they need to do, there would always be a case or situation which wouldn't work, and then there'd be the emergency or the fire of the day. So I tried all kinds of different things, everything you probably imagine, and really nothing worked. So what did work for me were what I'm going to share with you. There's 2 parts of it. So I'm going to talk about the aspect where we're tapping into this universal power around us, because the analogy is that it's like an iceberg. There's a part that's above it. That's like what we can see here, what we see. But there's that 98% or that big part that's below the water. That's what's all around us. If we can tap into that, we're going to be able to accomplish the things that we desire for the fiend or for the outcome of making the world a better place a lot easier and faster. So I'm going to talk about that, and then I'm going to go into in as much detail as I can succinctly of then what are the actual things that I was doing physically. What I do is every single day when I start out the day, I start out with today is an awesome day, because the first thing that we say every day is going to set the tone for the day. Then what I do is, as part of I call them meditation and energy balancing activities, and I go into more detail on the powerlifeclass.com. As part of that, I visualize in as much detail as possible the businesses having innovation from within, the creativity, managing, leading things so that more and more people are helped. And all of this done in less than the number of hours that I've designated that I'm, quote, working every single week. Then I expand the feeling that I have, which is absolutely a great feeling, when I'm working fewer than those hours. And then I ask myself, well, how would I move, act, and think about myself? I would move even more confidently. I would act even more patiently, more commanding and leading, but with love, with a mission focus. And then I would think about myself as successful, already making the difference. And I would think about the world as a really positive place, full of even more and more abundance. And a really, really important aspect too that I do is at the start of this meditation energy balancing activities, I relax completely and I send great energy to everyone who's part of the team, the employees, the vendors, the partners, everyone, and their families, to empower them, make them feel even better in their lives. And then I send great energy to all of the clients all around, and I visualize this white light going to all the clients and then their families too, making that positively impacting them in even more ways than the products or services that we're providing. What I've recently started doing as well, which I feel is even taps even more into this infinite power around us, is that instead of visualizing the monetary amounts, because the universe doesn't want us focused on money. The universe wants us focused on how can we make the world a better place. The universe is always expanding, and when we focus on that, this question, then we're always expanding too. So what I do is instead of visualizing certain monetary amounts for the different businesses, for the 5 businesses, I visualize the people actually using the products. And one of the companies, that they're actually health products, which were really great. And I visualize the people laying on them or using them and then being more energized, being healthier. And then the same thing for the other companies and the other industries. Now let's talk about, well, what are some of the organizational things that I did? So the first organizational key is having the right people, which if you, quote, don't have the right people at this point, there's things you can do, and I'll talk about that. But at one point in time, because I was so focused on the money, we had attracted people who were just focused on the money, and that's not the ideal type of situation that you want, okay? So we actually had a period of time we had to basically rotate the people. However, people are going to follow and do not what you say, but what you do. So to adjust this and to solve this, you don't need to necessarily rotate the people. But what we can do is identify a greater mission for yourself. It doesn't matter what business you're in. Trash collection, building cabinets, or maybe you have ideas as an entrepreneur of a business you're going to start, so you can do it all right from the start. Whatever it is identify a mission greater than yourself that you're truly passionate about. This isn't words, this isn't lip service. This is something that when you start to talk about it, you get kind of riled up. You get kind of, yes, when you talk about it. This is something that you're truly passionate about. Identify it, write it down, and then start sharing it with every single communication in an appropriate way. Every single training video you make, every single email, that we're doing A, B, and C so that we can accomplish this mission, And then every day when you're visualizing it and you're expanding this, and I go into the steps in the powerlifeclass.com, every day you're doing that, then you're going to expand that mission even more and more detail, affecting positively more and more people, seeing how it's positively impacting their lives in more and more ways. That does incredible things, because ultimately you don't want someone just to be doing stuff with their hands. That's like doing it because you tell them to do it. That's like one of the lowest levels of contribution that you want. And artificial intelligence soon will wipe out that level, because it'll do it. Artificial intelligence can do it probably just as well or better. What we need are people's hearts. And we need their hearts, not for me, but to accomplish this greater mission. And then when we're focused on this greater mission, a lot of the things that sometimes end up causing fires and causing problems and things like that, they a lot of times will work themselves out. That's made the greatest difference for me. That one shift, it's a big shift, but the shift from more money to more mission. Oh, and incidentally, well, yes, the profits need to be there, so the business provides what? More benefits for the clients, because we're going to positively impact them more, as well as the people in the team. Another really big change that I made was in giving more responsibility and ability. When you look at Zappos and when you read through the book, it really talks about giving power to the people who are interacting with customers and clients to be able to take care of 90, ideally 100%, but as many types of issues as they can. So what I did was I created some general guidelines in terms of if someone needs a refund or there's an issue, to be able to solve it like that. In other words, I got an email back from somebody the other day on the health products company, and he said, wow, you've reinstilled my faith in customer service. And well, yeah, we're here to serve you. You know, why did we even have to reinstill his faith in customer service? But that's the kind of mentality that we're not focused on just the profit on every single person. We're focused on the mission. So a lot of these things in terms of customer issues, if we can empower the front team, so to speak, of client success to be able to solve those, or at least a couple of managers in there to solve those things, well, it's going to free up your time. And it's also going to accomplish the mission of helping people, because don't you want to be able to call a company and have it, whatever the issue was, solved within a certain range, obviously, of types of refunds and things. Another thing that I've done is have an organizational system. A long time ago, I had spreadsheets, and then now there's a lot more technologies. The one that we use is called Bittrex. So you can go to Bittrex, I think it's Bittrex 24. It's a collaboration tool. So whether everyone in your team is in one office, or maybe they're spread out in different places, whatever it may be, is you can basically track things. And what's really important, the best practices that I found is to keep all history on whatever activity in the same place. One, we would call it a Bittrex or an activity or a task per action or thing you're doing. Don't mix them all together because then it gets really, really confusing. And when you're getting help from other people, the mentality a long time ago that I had was just, do what Eric says. Well, that just put me in a job, and that's why that was the issue of the time. So the shift that I made was that everyone who's in the team needs to develop their own leadership skills. And see, this is now also in line with the mission of helping people, right? Because you're helping someone not when you give them a fish, but when you teach them how to fish. So every single person I interact with, my goal is to help empower them to be more successful, to develop this incredible skill of leadership. So by asking them that, instead of the old way was, I would get questions, what do I do next? Now I say, why don't you propose a solution? And if you're unsure, just, I propose to do this because of this, and then I'll review it if I need to confirm that. And then that way they're developing their own muscles and very, very quickly will be able to make their own decisions on their own, versus the old habit of, well, what do I do next? Which is putting all of the responsibility in you, and it's going to really, really eat up all of your time. Another thing that I incorporated that is really, really important is that we're in a time right now when things are changing faster than ever. And in order to leverage that, we need to have, as part of the quote processes that we have that people do things, continual, every single day when new situations come up, we need to have someone, maybe it's you right now, but then you can have someone help you identify what are the issues. And the issues are complaints from customers, from team, from sales, from whatever, any type of issue, and then transform that into an improvement so that it doesn't happen again and you've improved things. Because you're going to get a lot of feedback, and as long as we're continuously improving, what's going to happen is your time is going to free up more and more and more. I've shared with you many of the things that I did to tap into this universal power around us to help free up my time. And I've shared with you various of the actual practical things that I did, hands-on things. And my goal is that you can implement some of these to help free up your time, whether it's having the 4-hour quote work week, if that's what you want, so that you can then focus on whatever your passion is. My passion is making a positive impact in your life, helping you manifest the life that you design for your business, for your personal, your health, all areas, by tapping into this universal infinite power around us. And I've created the website powerlifeclass.com. There's no opt-in, you can go to it. And if you found that this video was beneficial for you, and I truly hope it was, then help me accomplish the mission of positively impacting more people, tapping into this universal power and manifesting the life that they design by sharing it and commenting below something that you benefited, that you learned from it, and share it with at least one person, maybe on your Facebook wall. And you can also click over and then or like the page as well, and that way you can get more content that's really, really focused on helping you manifest the life that you design in all areas by tapping into this universal power around us. I wish you a fantastic day, lots of love and success, and I look forward to sharing with you on a next video.